What would you say are reasonable things where if you see this, you should run? Like,
Oh.
like not like just even a red flag, but like an actual reasonable deal breaker that a guy could have towards a girl or a girl could have towards a guy.
And I can actually speak to some of the like conversations I've had with friends. I think the big ones that I've felt or that my friends and I have talked about are, I think the biggest one is a lack of ambition in a guy, where I'm a huge proponent of, you know, you don't have to wait until your life is perfect to get married or start dating. Like, I don't think you have to be your final form. There's a lot of people who feel like I need to do all the things. I need to travel, and then I need to get the right house. My career needs to be in the right place. I need to like be at the right place with me, whatever. And then I'll like think about getting married. I think that it's like you should know who you are and you should have your life together. You should not be a mess. But it doesn't matter if you haven't traveled all the places that you want to travel to yet, if you don't have the right job. It's like everything in our lives that we're doing now, like traveling means so much more now that I get to go do it with Alex. Like career wins are so much more meaningful because we're doing them together. Buying this like dream house is so special because it's our dream house and it's like we're building a life together. So that's kind of an aside of it. Like a guy doesn't need to be all the way there, but I do think, especially if you are more traditional and you're looking for, and you're dating intentionally and you want to get married, it's like you need to look for somebody who is, you know, has some gusto in their life and is wanting to make something of themselves. And it doesn't mean that they need to be on some track to make 7 figures or whatever it is, but who wants to do something in the world and leave a lasting impact. And I think people often like will point to video games and be like, oh, he just sits around and plays video games. I don't think video games are the root cause of it. I know a lot of very successful people who, like my like female best friend is like a huge gamer, obsessed with video games, and she's also wildly successful and motivated. And Alex will play video games, and he's incredibly successful and motivated. But it's that like the laziness and just the kind of like aimlessness, maybe aimlessness is the right term, where I think is a major turnoff to a lot of women because it's like they, you know, want to get married. Maybe they want to have kids and be a stay-at-home mom. They don't want to be worried about like asking their husband to like, could you please maybe get a job that makes you happy? Like, do you have something in your life that's motivating you? Like, would you be able to support us? Like, I'm not asking for a lot of things, but like, would I be able to take them off? So I think that's like, and again, you don't have to be all the way there yet, but to show that you have some drive in your life, I think is really key. So that would be a major one. For me, I think excessive drug and alcohol use is major turnoff. But again, some women are into that kind of stuff and, you know, go out and party and want to do whatever. But I am thinking about like my group of friends and what I was looking for. If somebody was like going out every night and drinking a ton and smoking a ton of weed or whatever, that would be a major, like our lifestyles are just not aligned. So that's a big one. Obviously, excessive like physical violence is a huge one. Like even if it's not directed at you, if there's somebody who can't control their tendencies and their emotions in that regard, I would be concerned about going into somebody's life in that regard. It's like if you can't have a handle on that just in the outside world, then how are you going to treat me? I think those are the top 3 ones.
Would the deal breakers be any different for a woman than it would be for a man? Like, are there certain very specific things that if women do, you should just stay away because it's indicative of some sort of...
Jack's asking for himself.
You're trying to figure out...
I kind of am, actually, yeah.
I think a lot of them are very similar. So I think the partying is a big thing. If I was a guy that was wanting a more traditional... Marriage is a more traditional guy. Like, a girl that is sleeping around or going out and partying and getting drunk every night, I would probably be concerned about that. Unless that's something you're really into and then you guys can do it together. I have friends that are like love raves and they go and they rave together and that's, you know, that's part of their relationship. But they're also not like they don't have the most traditional marriage. So I think that is probably pretty aligned. I also don't think that you need to, I think the reasons for drive and ambition are going to be different for a woman and a man, but I do think men also, and I was literally just going through this with a friend of mine and hearing his, you know, feelings about this, but I do think it is also important for men, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but for a woman that you're interested in to have some kind of purpose in her life, to be driven by something, not to be like aimless or just like hoping that somebody's going to take care of her. She's just like bopping from one guy to another, but to have something that gives her life meaning and be driven by something. Because I think that just makes a person more interesting. I think it also shows that, and I don't mean like has some career that she's chasing or whatever, but has something that she cares about, that she looks for, whether that is, being a mother and really wants to be a mom, or whether she genuinely loves what she does because it provides meaning to her life, or has a hobby and an interest that she dedicates a lot of time to. I think that shows, I think it shows that somebody is interesting and multifaceted. I think it shows, gives you insight into their personality. I also think something that I forgot to mention, I was actually talking to Alex about this the other day. He was saying, I had dogs as a single woman and he didn't. And he was like, I don't think I would ever get like a pet as a single person. And I actually responded to that. And I was like, it is actually, when I was dating, I was like, I would love it if a guy either had like a dog, had some animal to take care of, or owned a home and had to like be responsible for a piece of property. And obviously in this economy, that's like a lot to ask, but it was less about the tangible, like physical item and more so that he is showing that he is responsible for something, like responsible for another life, responsible for, paying a mortgage on time and taking care of, like, he has saved up enough to buy this house and he cares for it. You obviously talk so much about real estate, but of what goes into managing that and having that be part of your life. And it was less about like, I really want you to have a dog. I really want you to be a house. But it shows that, okay, you care for something. You have to keep something up. You are, you're indebted to somebody and you have to show up for them. Like you can't just like leave a dog and go, screw around for like months at a time or, not care for them. So I think that also goes back to, having drive, having ambition, and showing that you're responsible for something. And I think that that's good for men to look for in women as well, of that they can have responsibility, that they are a partner that will show up for you. I'm having kind of trouble articulating why I think it's so important that people
I'm getting what you're
have
saying.
a purpose.
Yeah, for me, I like ambition in a partner because I don't want me to be the center of their world.
Yes,
like I want them to have
that's
something
a great way to put it.
that they can focus on outside of me, because I also have other things that I want to focus on, and I would feel like there's a an imbalance there if she was just always texting me, always trying to reach out, always involved,
and the
I
same
had
thing
my own
goes,
thing
I
she
think,
had her
for some women, where I think women say one thing online where they're like, oh, I want him to like text me back and do all, whatever. But if a guy is only texting you 24/7 and is only like revolving around you, I think that that's also, because then you see the flip side of that where, women will make videos and post those chats and like, oh my God, why is he texting you so much? It's like you can't win in that situation, but it just shows that you have a
something
full
to do.
life and
So
things
guys,
you care
that's
about.
the answer. Wait to text.
Wait
Don't
to text.
text right back. Wait to text. Okay.